Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Joanne. On today's segment of creative entrepreneurship, we have a guest with us who will be talking about unlocking potentials and overcoming creative blocks in the Nigeria industry. Can you introduce yourself to us?
Thank you. Yes, my name is Lukman O Abiose. I am a creative. You can call me Axiomatic, that's my nickname. Axiomatic. Axiomatic. So I'm a creative, I'm a writer, a producer, a director. I do so many things in art, so let me not start mentioning. So maybe as we discuss, we get to know, yeah. Thank you.
You've heard it from my guest, but he has told you what it's all about, and we just want to like pitch in some questions and let him like express himself, so you guys will understand what our segment is really all about today. My first question to you: we all know that you are like a guru in the creative industry, and then you've been in the industry for quite a while, so you have more experience. You have come across some obstacles, and for people that are like starting up in the creative industry, we just want to like help them through your experience.
Okay.
So the first question is like, can you share your journey into the creative entrepreneurship and like what inspired you?
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say that although certain people call me guru, but I believe I'm not. I am still coming up, and art for me is life. For everybody, it is life. So my journey into the creative enterprise is actually predestined. It is not any accident, and it is not like a kind of special planning or this. But when I was growing up, I didn't have so much of the professional exposure to the professional world of art, but I knew that it has always been with me. It has always been in me. Coming into the creative industry right from primary school, I have always been in the dramatic club. I just know, okay, there was a time I wasn't even in a Muslim school. I just know I'll be taking a lead role where I have two wives, and I'll be hearing umu something, umu, you know.
So it was in the blood from
It has always been there. And you know, on the streets when I was growing up, they call me Oropo because I actually talk so much. So you need to call me, cut me at intervals so that I don't talk too much. I don't because I talk so much. Okay, and you know. From then, I've always been an art student. Not only because I did terribly in mathematics, you know that's the reality for most of we art students. Almost all of us. So and when you are good with mathematics, regardless of your talent, even if you are the most talented in the school, once you are good with mathematics, they are pushing you to sciences. And many of my friends today, after 17 years of graduation, they have now retraced their track back to art. You know, they were moved. The structure of our education forced them to sciences, probably because they did well in Introtech, in integrated science, in mathematics, biology, inter science. Then in junior secondary, you know, that's when. So they just moved them to sciences. Whereas, in fact, one of my friends now in tech was perhaps the best fine artist that we had. He couldn't go to art because our dad was a vice principal of a school in Lagos and he's a mathematician. So they had to push him and he studied mathematics. But for me, it has always been art. And despite I didn't have that kind of grooming, not parents who don't value education, they value education, but they don't have that exposure to even connect me to the right. You see the likes of Samuel Ajiribi started acting in the year 1998. He was only 5 years old. But for me, the father is in the industry, so the opportunity met his own talent. But many of us were very talented. You now see us. I travel to the north, travel then. You just see me with Emi Lalude. I will be reenacting all those things that they do on TV. All those things. You know. And when I was in the north, and with then Niger State, Mina, Tunga low cost, So then I was in maybe primary 5 to JS1, JS2, I was performance is always part of me. So, I'll just pack all the northern, my friends in the north, in Tunga locals, they like a GRA. I start acting, pack leaves, say, okay, and they'll be happy. They'll just be laughing, they'll be happy, and me, I'll be dramatizing. In fact, we did wrestling one time, and my clavicle got broken. We were doing wrestling, part of the performance, and Magic Ashikone, it was, but it has always part of me. And when I left secondary school, at some point, I was the president of the dramatic club in my school. Then after then, Moshidi Abuja Polytechnic to study mass communication. I love the media. I love to write. I was one of the top students, and but media then was too demanding than rewarding. We enjoyed that. Okay, you get there. I was with PM News. You write news story. You get byline. That means your story is published in the paper. You are so proud. But how much were we getting? It was peanuts compared to, but you get brown envelopes, to augment for whatever thing, but which is not professional. Some people even in advanced tips are allowed. But then it wasn't really what I wanted. But I have skills to write. I could write. Then one day in a class, we were having a lecture on history of Nigerian mass media. They started talking about Iwe Iroyin, the Babington Macaulay, the establishment of CMS Grammar School in 1859 to I started talking. Then as the lecturer was delivering the lecture, I was picturing filming. That was where my dream that I still carry to today, that was where it sprung up.
Wow.
And I had friends that we read together. We were the top students then. Okay, we read together. I thought of producing research-intensive films about African historic and heroic adventures. Okay, we have seen Spider-Man. Then Jumong was reigning. We've seen a lot of top films. Can we not have Shango in that light? We have seen Shango movies, but in that light, can we not have it? Can we not have Lisha B, Kurumi, Shodeke, and the lights, all the heroes that we have in that light? These people don't have story. Superman, Spider-Man, they never existed in real world. It was a fantasy. They created it. Just strictly fictitious. But we now have these stories, we have these heroes, superheroes. Why are we not? My 50 of writing jump. I passed jump very well. Then I made a mistake with my registration number or something like that. I chose the University of Ilorin, position me 80%. I usually choose Ilorin and Ife. Both of them not give me admission for 4 years. The 5th year now. Then I saw that there was an error in this, so I just gave up. Ilorin admission is gone. Let me hope on Ife. Then that night I had a dream that I secured admission. Because I had forgotten about it. I had a dream that I secured admission. I just called my friend, Usman. Let's go. We went to the cyber cafe. Then to cyber cafe. We went to the cyber cafe. I just said, Pep, congratulations, you have been offered provisional admission, BE Performing Arts. Wow. Then I was about to resume HND. We have written HND exam. Okay, I had passed it. On the formal admission, I cannot resume. Then it means that's my 4th year in the poly.
4 years
in the poly.
To enter University of Ilorin.
Then, what is this? But I said, what is performing arts? Because I chose I was tired of choosing law for University of Ilorin. I chose law for Ife. I chose performing arts, mass comm for Ilorin. Then I said performing arts. What is performing arts? Okay. I said, I resumed University of Ilorin that October, so I could not resume HND. I resumed University of Ilorin. I thought I was even going to run the 2 programs together, but the distance between Ilorin and Abeokuta, I couldn't do that. I just had to forget one. Then we resume induction. Induction is actually a very rigorous period when you enter any theater department. They induct you into theater, they teach you drama, dance, and music, the practical and all. If many people did not choose that course, like me, They get tired of it because we'll be in school from like 7 a.m. classrooms, after class lectures and all. You do rehearsal till like 10 p.m. in the night. Like the videos of us are staying outside campus. Sometimes you get home like past 12. The next morning before 7 you are in school. Because when it is a paramilitary department. When you say jump, you don't take nonsense. So people were giving up, people were dropping admission, people were moving to other departments. But me, I was loving everything, I was enjoying it. It was like life. But I lost a lot of things, lost relationship, because I could not even reach out to anybody. My girlfriend said, when I was leaving, I said, my girlfriend then, she said, "Damn, Larry, Mark with me, I could not call. Where will I have the time to call? There was no time. But nobody will understand anything. But I lost relationship. But I was living in my own real world.
Yes, because being in like that space at that particular time, you're still performing at night rehearsals and everything that you'll be going through. How do you just keep up with the relationship? You still want to be in class.
And even in the other departments, girls they hardly want to date you. They say, performing art, they will act love for you. You think that they are in a relationship, they will act it. Because they don't want to date performing art boys. In the department, say, when you did the cast now, what you don't just. But me, it was just myself. I'm celibate, so wow. I can't celibate. But then the thing, if you now gave me admission to study English, then my dad called me and he said, "Don't want this course. Go and do English in Ife, this and that." I said, if at this point anybody offered me admission and gave me money to study law and add medicine, say don't read or you will get first class, I'm not doing. This is the course that I want to do. This is what I am destined to do, and I stick to performing arts. So I was doing my thing, observing. I was observing. Then I was on another level. The Moshood Fatah is featured on House of God. In King, what's this thing? This school far from home. Moshood Fatah. That was Ishaya's friend, in fact, from the guy that is a mechanic that lent him money. In fact, that's Moshood Fatah. Moshood Fatah was my senior then. He was on 400 level. He was a scholar. So a scholar, he was the best student in his class then. You know, Moshood Fatah was, those sets were special. They like very talented, very good. So I was understudying how to direct, how to do this. I was watching them. I was not into acting, but I'm very active in practicals. But nobody really know me because if you're not on stage, you're not a superstar, you know. Then we finished the session. Result came out, and everybody was looking for me. Who is Machek? Who is Abiose? Who is Lukman? Who is that?
Nobody is aware.
Now, I'm only want to say to do Waka Pass. Minor role. We just do. Who is this? Who is that? That broke because the department was about 37 years old then. They have never made the first class results. And I made the first class. They were looking for who is this, who is that. But I saw someone should text me. It was text message then. 2012, 13. Text message. Very long text messages, like 7 pages. You know, it was not like one message. It was contained around because my break. Congratulating me and this and that. And you know, that was where we actually got very, very close. Like, who is this, who is that? He advised me this. Then I said, yes, this is a testament that this is, school will start paying me. And I was in school, I was enjoying what I'm doing, and I was still getting, it was just, then, my dream was growing bigger. I was getting more exposure. What I wanted to do, it is by 2015, I registered my company. I was still in school, Oshimari Creative Vision. So I registered my company thanks to Yalode Alabalonson, who was my matron then. That's Yalode of Egba in Yoruba land. She was matron of the organization then, and she gave us a grant when I was making research. She gave us a grant, and I registered my company, Oshimari Creative Vision, and kept on. Met Said Oshukpa, met a lot of top personalities who supported the dream, and I just wanted to do this. By 2016, when I graduated, my team, let us do something. At least we don't have money to produce the kind of movies that we want or we desire to produce. Let us do something. Just whatever you can contribute, let us have this contribution and make a snippet, like a pilot of what we want to do. So we contribute money. We shot Erin Jogunla, the freedom fighters. With Erin Jogunla, we shot in Abeokuta here. From the picture alone, it attracted Hollywood producer. The only producer came to Nigeria to come and meet me.
Wow.
And I had communication with Richard Blanchard. Richard Blanchard is the producer of Mission Impossible, Strike Back, Little Border, and a lot of top British film. Then Tom Morrison did post-production of Jackie Chan's The Tuxedo. So their company representative came to Nigeria, we met, we had agreement, we signed, you know, just from the passion.
That makes me wonder, like, what keeps you inspired and innovative in the competitive creative space?
You know, the fact that I see a lot of people make it and I know they are not as good as I am. Like, they are not as good, not like, presently they might be better than me, but they are not as gifted, as talented as I am, but they survived. And if they can make it and they become great, then what will stop me? Nothing will stop me.
Wow.
I'm going to achieve it. So I know what I carry. Even at my lowest, I know who I am. I don't forget it. I've never at any point thought of, oh, should I just do something else? It has never crossed me. In fact, I've lost relationships on that. Wait, is it what you do? Are you sure you keep doing this? A lot of my friends that started together, they have done. They have moved on to do other things, but I don't mind, and I don't blame them, because our level of tenacity, our level of high-heartedness and strong head is different. What you can take, me, I was ready when I was leaving school. I had not even collected my final scholarship then. So if you give me my scholarship, even if it means that I may buy 10 bags of gari, and I will drink it for 10 years till I break through. I will drink gari to break through. Nothing is going to make me quit. Because like, from training level, I was even offered. I had job offer from a federal job. University of Ilorin my department wanted me to stay. I was not going to stay. My dad, now late. God, I didn't know how he got to know. Why is it that they want you to stay? You didn't want to stay. Why this and that? I said, me, I'm not staying. Me, I cannot lecture.
You know your dream is bigger than.
By just mere lecturing. I know I have all it takes to be a professor, even before age 40. PhD, I'll get my PhD before 30. I know it is sure for me. It is nothing will stop it. But what my dream is way bigger. Look at the likes of Kunle Afolayan and Co. They are lecturing, but they are subject matter, they are case studies in institutions today. Look at Tunde Kilani, they are authorities in the field. And I know that, okay, these people are very gifted, but I have special gift that they don't have. Why would I now quit? They were inspiration for me, and if they can win, I see if they can win. The only thing that will stop me from winning is death. I will not die untimely.
So like, you know, you had you didn't have a platform, you didn't have a foundation, but you knew what you wanted and all of that. But what advice, how can young Nigerians discover and nurture their creative minds?
The opportunities are limited. Very, very limited opportunities. What I wanted to do, I didn't have anybody doing it at that point. So I had to create my own world. So it will never be easy for creating.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
sorry to cut you.
Yes.
You know, we all know that you're a guru. God blessed you with that. You already have God has raised you to
thank
be
God.
a blessing to others now.
Glory be to God.
So what advice would you give to young people to discover and nurture their own creative minds and talents?
Okay. Yeah, for you are creative. You know you are creative. Yes, you know you are very creative. Right from childhood, you know what you have, you know the gift. But what is now the challenge is staying creative. For me, this is it. A lot of factors will work against you. Family, responsibilities, society, your friends, your peers, demands from marriage, and a lot of things will come to distract you. But you need to understand the field that you are getting into. Many times you don't start making money immediately. Most of the time you don't start making money. In fact, most of the time you face shege. You will go hungry, you will go very broke. Some people will even, in fact, some people might replace your name with Sapa. But you need to understand that in the creative space, one of the way you get reward is delayed gratification. Many times your reward comes very late. Especially you don't start getting it immediately. Look at Lateef Adedmeji today, for instance. Somebody that I'm very, very close to. At least they did that we don't talk. Look at Latif today. The same Latif Adedimeji that we celebrate today, that is for me, is the most is the most dynamic actor that we have today. Like, put him in any roles, you do it effortlessly without you struggling. Despite that, okay, now we celebrate him, right? Everybody is, Latif, I want to be like Latif. Do you know Latif struggle? Latif will go to on set. When you give him major role and you're not paying him cover, he's very happy. He's going to be begging food from mates, colleagues. When he's done with shoot, he will trek home more than 10, 15, 20 kilometers. But this Latif today, you're spending over 400 million to produce the Shabi. The same Latif. So, delayed gratification, you don't start getting the reward immediately. Your friends might go to banking, might go to do sales job and all, and they are making money regularly. They are stable. You know, but there's one thing that regular money gives you: stability. You don't get it. They see you as unserious. They see you as it is about you. So if you don't want to be known for a quitter, don't. Just keep at it. Keep doing it. But in this present age, to survive, find something that gives you a stable, what can give you stability. Let me put it that way. Maybe now we do a lot of online businesses that you can make some profit from. That can keep you going while you push for your dream to achieve it.
Yes. So like, what were like some of your early revenue streams?
Revenue streams.
You said you should look for something to like add to it, to like be able to like boost that yourself. So what were like some of your early revenue streams, and like how did you grow it?
The word streams actually scared me because it feels like there's plenty. But the thing is, I write. Today I don't like to write for people because you can hardly pay me. So that time and my creative ingenuity, you cannot, except I believe in that project, so okay, let me write, and okay, whatever you're paying, I get credit, you know. But I hardly write today, but I write then. I have worked while I was pushing my dream, I freelance, I write for ADA. ADA is African Radio Drama Association. They're the largest supplier of radio content in West Africa. I write for ADA. I write for other people. I produce stage plays, but those ones are not really. Stage play production is not revenue. It was sweeping my money, like it was. I was eating rock from one rock to the other. But I was making money through, and sometimes freelancing. Sometimes I just say, come and do this job. Come and do on creative jobs. So those were it. That's why I am telling people today, if I had a mentor who understands the field, who has gone through what I want to go through or anything, it could have been easier for me. Now those that are coming after me, so that it can be easy for them. They need to understand that by the time pressure start coming from your father, from your mother, from every circle, from your boyfriend or girlfriend, and they want to kill you with, is it what you'll be doing with your life? Is this and that? You don't have money. Every time you are begging for this thing, you're urgent 2K, urgent 3K. If you don't want to face that pity, ensure that you have something that is giving you money at least to keep you moving. That way, when you're not begging them for food, and okay, then nobody will stop you from pushing your dream.
Yeah, that's true. So like, how do you balance creativity with business structure and space monetization?
Those are actually that's a very critical area that I had to learn in a very hard way. You know, yes, because creativity, when you are a creative, there's no opportunity. You want to create shows for yourself. I'm remembering some of the experiences. So you know, I learned the hard way. Because when you study creativity, when you study arts, artists teach us the business aspect of you have to manage business, or the enterprise, the business aspect of art. So we are just passionate. We are just driven by passion. We want to create. We want to do production. We know we can do production now, but we can sell tickets. How are we going to sell tickets? We don't know. How do we put budgets together? We really don't know. I'll just be running across about to look for money, raise money. Sometimes I'll even say investors. Investors, whether you should share profit and loss. My own kind of investors, I'll say if you lose, I'll go and look for your money back. From wanting to refund money, I will say let me do another show. Maybe I do another show, I make money, and that I can use it to at least augment. By the time I do another show, I'll enter deeper depths, deeper one. So you know, it was from one fry pan to fry, and a time just came. Just sprung up then, and money started coming. As I said, delayed gratification. All those things that I was doing, I was losing money. People from the outside world did not know that I was losing money. They were saying, this guy is consistent. He's always doing this production. He's there. He's always there. He's always there. They did not see the losses. So, BC. If I talk about BC, I went to Abuja for Abuja Festival of Theatre with a 23-man team, cast and crew. We did avatars of Odua. You know, Professor Wale Soyinka, Chuck Mike from US, Joke Silva, Najitide, a lot of them. I paid them $300 to register for the festival. Built costumes, did everything. We went, stayed 2 weeks. Let me not even talk about welfare or anything. But when we were coming back, lo and behold, my beautiful sister, the bus to bring us back then was 120,000 naira. That was 2019. I did not make 60,000 naira. Wow. From a production that I have borrowed money and everything. I have spent more than about 3 million. This I'm managing. That okay, whatever we make, we'll be able to give our actors and this from it. And so if those kinds of people now decide to, please, you blame them for quitting because you cannot provide means for them. So that is how terrible it has been. We have had a show. I had a show in Abeokuta. After a particular show that was supposed to be a commission, but I had a production. If I'm supposed to have that production today, I'm going to postpone the production. Then I didn't postpone it because you know this idea of the show must go on. It's supposed to be a sponsored production for this Shabi Festival 2018. 2 weeks to the festival, we got the information. We were on the festival plan. Okay, we were going to be having a play for the festival about Egba history. Approved, you know. Then the major sponsor for the festival back out 2 weeks. We got the information that they backed out 2 weeks to go. We already rehearsing because there was a particular amount that will be approved for us. Then the actors were like, they said there's also communication that backed out to. What are we going to do? PTPT has already, because I have started spending my money. I've borrowed money because by the time we get money, by the time they ask us to come and do production, okay, maybe like a week to go. That's not when I will start bringing casts together. Over 60 casts. And they said the show must go on. Everybody is driven by passion. You don't remember the financial aspect of the show must go on. A week to go. We now started, okay, let us do tickets. Let us sell tickets. They gave us a space to use. Okay, we'll sell tickets. We did a banner. We did poster. We move around. Okay, I have access to Saeed Ojukwa's first son is one of us. So we called him. He's our patron. Sir, so is happening. No? We'll put you in the poster. You have to come so that you can use your face to at least pull crowd. This and that. So I see. I spoke to the manager. Said they have 2 shows, one in Ijebu, one in Ife. That same day that they gave us to do our production. Is it possible for them to come? Okay, they said okay, they will try to come. We put the face. We were running around. What did we make? Did we make 50,000 naira from that from ticket sales and all? I'm sure we didn't make 50,000 naira, but I had some very good people who support me, like patrons, like this and that, who just send me some money, okay, to support this and that. 50,000 here, 20 there, you know. Eventually, we borrowed everything. Oh shit, deep shit. Deep. It was deep, very deep shit. So then, we had the show. And one of the actors that said, let people enter for free. At least if we are not able to sell this amount of tickets, let us have audience to perform to. People enter for free. That was the first person that locked my shirt, not locked my shirt in actual sense, but that locked, like, hold me by the neck. Over there. I cannot come up to home and rehearse for this long and go home and tell my daddy that
I don't have anything to show for you.
I say, I want to do like this. So, okay, somebody, what did we make? This and that. Okay, what we make is already supposed to be for the actors, at least for their transportation and all. From there, we lost, right? So yeah, maybe because we did not market very well. We could actually market very well, and okay, the next time we partnered with Ministry of Culture and Tourism, Ogun State, we had this venue. This is the venue. That's the venue. Then we had the show. We marketed. We did banners. That's 2018. We did banners. It was everywhere. Went to radio. We're supposed to say, yes, people came from Lagos. Lo and behold, they could not get to the venue. Because days to the show, maybe like less than a week to the show, that's when they start let's say destruction. It's not destruction. They start demolition. That's the word. They start demolishing houses. They want to do Kuto Road. They want to do the bridge. So they demolish houses, everything. Nobody could pass that lane again. So that's a week to go. It was very unfortunate. Then on that day, it now rained more than cat and dog. It rained fire. People who came from Lagos could not get to the venue.
They are demolishing, so like the road will even be moved.
They are demolished, they cannot even get there. If they don't get there, there's an alternative route behind Cultural Center to the stadium. Yes. Very few people know that alternative, but if that everywhere is blocked, nobody can get there. Because of the rain. We had that, we hit the rock again. That's where, and then during that period, we had like 5 shows. People were around, passion. So if people like that now, some of them now decide to say, well, we are tired, though. Will you blame them? The industry. That's why if anybody listen to this and you want to get into art, you want to do stage plays, you need to understand that you cannot use what you have learned in school to determine how you will relate in the industry. That's why that is the soul and purpose of mentorship. Because the business aspect of art is one way that many people that are talented. That's why you see a lot of people that are talented today, they are really not relevant. They don't have the money. You see that this person is popular now. This person don't have money and he's popular. He has the fame, he has everything, but because we don't understand the business, a lot of people have even, been victim of very terrible producers that will give them very bad contracts, use them. All the money will be going to producers and marketers, while talents will be suffering, will be languishing in their little. All right.
So if you had power to change anything, anything at all in the creative industry in Nigeria, what would it be? Because I know very sure that you have some opinions about the industry that you would love to change in the nearest future, maybe next 5 years.
If you have the power to change anything, I will change the foundation. When I mean the foundation, I mean from education, right from primary school. How we view art.
Yes.
That's why I did a production last year. Plateau Psychosis. I think I played Plateau. Is a stage play. Stage at Glover Hall for Lagos International Theatre Festival. The producer of the festival was there in person. People like Adefila, Segun Adefila, and legendary Segun Adefila, and a lot of, top names. They were all, they loved the show so much. Like, wow, this, it was, the accolade was just out of this world. And it is an advocacy for art. Because we really don't understand what art is. Nobody will be able to live in this life without art. When they say art is life, art is life. Art is life is not just mere words. It means more than that. Nobody can live without art. You see, say he's a doctor, he's a lawyer, he's a this. Can never solve. Even science cannot stand without art. Because If it's scientific discovery, invention, you want to make phone, you want to make aeroplane, you want to make television, there is design. Without design, it cannot work. You cannot see anything. Because people will die.
And it's hard to
That is, design is art. Design is art. So, the play is an advocacy for art. So I'll start from the foundation. When you see talents, and we are still at the problem to tomorrow. And that's why I say Plato's psychosis. I don't see Plato as the only philosopher, Greek philosopher Plato, who said artists should be banished from an ideal republic those years. But as everybody who will see any talented child who's trying to push his talent, maybe you want to dance, you want to sing, and say, so you're singing that you'll be doing with your life. They will condemn you. They will see you as unimportant. But when you become known, when you become big, and say, he's my son, he's my daughter. The people that are condemning you for dancing, they are celebrating coffee.
True. Very sad.
The people that are condemning you from acting, they are following Odu Adekola, they are following R&D. They are saying Funke Akindele as a great person. They love all these people, but they are condemning you. It is psychotic. It is like mini madness. So when you say parents, you say, don't dance. Go to the clinic. You go and do ICANN. Go and do. You say, I know what I want to do. I can't do it. You say, go and do ICANN. Say, go and do this. Go and do that. You are not serious. You don't want to be serious with your life. You want to be dancing everywhere. By the time you become the very famous instrumentalist, or you become a famous musician that is shutting down O2 Arena, they begin to say, yeah, it's my son, that's my daughter. It is madness. Because you are celebrating what you don't want that person to do.
No, I think that's the problem with Nigeria.
It is society. That's why it is madness. We are mad. That's it. No, it is mad, psychotic. It's like, okay, look at it. Look at me. I say rice is bad, rice is poison, rice is this, rice is that. You now bring the same rice to me, and I begin to,
If you bring it to another different dimension,
whatever, it is rice, it is rice and stew. It's still the same rice and stew. It's still the same rice and stew.
No, now it's like.
Or let's say, the rice is uncooked. I say, terrible. This and that. They now pour the rice inside fire. I say, what they are pouring inside fire? The rice is now sad. Hey, I love rice. It is madness now. We really shebe. So I can't feel why we really.
It's not that.
It is.
Until you make it, people don't. I feel like they don't believe in any of this. I want to become a musician. They don't believe in.
Okay, why? Do they believe in music?
Like,
wait, I'm coming. Do they believe in music? They are very religious. Can they worship without music?
No.
Can they worship in church without dance? Will they not drum? They do the story of Jesus Christ.
That's what I'm saying.
For Christmas, will they celebrate it? Will they spend a lot of money for it? But that mentality, it has to change. The same way, if you study law and you just started making money, but you study law, people will not respect you. Even when you are in charge and being lawyer under the bridge, Ikeja, because it's law that you studied. What did you study? Study theater. So you went to school to go and be dancing. How they say? But we do theory like we don't do practical. We do practical, we don't do theory. So because it is ignorance. So if ignorance is not an excuse in the court of law, in my own creative court, ignorance can never be an excuse. Madness is madness. It is because of their ignorance. That is what has given birth to what? The hostility, the apathy, and the prejudice for arts. So until they change their ignorance to knowledge, knowledge is light now. Knowledge is light. You say, the person that said they should banish artists, Plato, in the same book said, let the training of a child take the form of a play. Can you have a president in Nigeria without arts? No. Will you not campaign?
Yes.
Will you not do poster?
These creative minds.
There's nothing you can do in life without art. Life can survive without every other thing. But life cannot survive without art because art itself is life. Right from how they gave birth to a child. What did God use in creating this world? Art. In the beginning was what? The Word. The Word was with God and the Word was what? God. Word. Word is what? Art. Spoken word. Dialogue. Let there be light. Command. Word. Art. Did God... When God was carving us, he said, God carved us in his own image. Image is what? Art. So to condemn art is to condemn yourself. Because I'm not going to move, you will move to reading now. Whether you are walking to your office, it's a movement to reading. Reading of your what? Whether your heart beats. Because if your heart is beating fast, it will show. It will show in the way you move, you carry yourself. When you are relaxed, it will still show. So everything we do is art. You cannot do life without art, because art itself is life. Everything that takes us everywhere. What to make somebody say, I'm using techno. Okay, me, I want to use iPhone. What? Art, design, for picture, for this, for that. Art, because we want relevance. In the business that you are in, that office that you are entering, it is what? Design. Art. So
like, what legacy do you hope to leave in the creative world, in the creative ecosystem?
Okay, I want to be remembered as that person who came to change the system, who came to make art adorable, to make art worthy, to that person who came to bring that change that people fail to see. That person who make art to take to claim back its lost glory and take the rightful position. The art is glorious. It is very glorious. But the way we see, you see, if you have low self-esteem, if you don't appreciate yourself, if you don't know who you are, whoever people call you is who they will call you. If you say, it's a black person, you are inferior. If you think you are inferior, then you are inferior. But if you don't think you are inferior, you stand back. No, this is me. You are mistaken. You are an idiot. This is me. This is what I am. This is what I represent. So, if we will not make conscious efforts, just like we are trying to make conscious effort to tell our stories now, and it is doing well in cinema, it is doing well on Netflix, our African stories. We need to make conscious efforts to project art in that image. If you have to be a rebel to fight for your dream.
So you are saying you're going to leave a legacy that will make people see art in a very different light, that it is important as science is. That's how important art is.
If I leave this world with art still being denigrated, with art still being in this situation, then I have failed as a person. So my mission is beyond. I want to make the greatest film. I want to I'll make very wonderful films. But those are the testament that will make your word believable. Make people see you as an authority, and when they see you as an authority, then we can start to reshape our education structure, the way we see it. Why art? God is an artist. God is the master creator. He created. We are creatives. We create. Scientists, they don't create. Now they create. We are the image. If God created human in his own image. No. God created artists in his own image. You people are disobeying God. That's why you are disrespecting art. If you really love God, you know who God is. In the Lord's Prayer. Because you say angels are singing, the angels are singing. When we were in school, you are worthy, oh Lord, you are worthy. Today, we are singing. And you are condemning song. But you go and spray you condemning your son that wants to, a father, a socialite, condemning son that wants to sing Fuji. But you go and spend your money for Saheed Osupa. You spend 5 million on one spot for Saheed Osupa. You use 10 million, 15, 20 million to go and bring Wasiu. But you are condemning your own son. It is madness. It is nothing but madness. The relevance that you want is in art, is buried in art. You want relevance, you have all the money. You need to go into art to be relevant, to be seen. As I say, awala wa ndi oro toro finke, awala wa pon won le o taye to ma pon won le. Àwọn tá wá pọ́n lé tó fẹ́ máa yẹ̀yẹ́ wa lọ́jọ́ tá bá pinnu láti máa yẹ̀yẹ́ wọn láké lóko wọ́n dẹni ẹ̀sìn nìyẹn àmín àmín. Get it?
Yeah, thank you so much.
Welcome.
I really appreciate it. Like, you really enlightened me. I'm also an art student. Yes.
Beautiful. And you have a beautiful face. Tomorrow, I won't be surprised if I see you rolling the screen. Wow. So don't let anybody discourage you. Yeah. Don't practice arts with Sakpa. Make sure you have guide against Sakpa. I mean, you find a side hustle that is giving you money so that you can push. If not, by the time you go to 1, 2, 3, 5, 10 auditions that did not pick you and you are hungry, you get up and your parents say, "Go sing, go you want to say Sinule, you want to go and pick it." By the time they start lashing you with words, you go and take teaching job or you go and take Empower. See, you understand it. So, but you need to have some. When you have something that is working, and they say, "Okay, drop money at home." People that went to work, they drop 20K. You to drop 20K. Nobody will say you should not do what you are doing.
You heard it from the horse's mouth. Creative minds that are willing to explore more into the industry. You guys just, as you have said, don't let what your parents say, societal, everything, don't let it stop you from wanting to become more and better than you are. He started from not knowing what he wanted to do, but he knew he had it in him. I pray we all get that determination.
Yes.
Introduce yourself to our audience again.
Okay, my name is Lukman O. Abiose Axiomatic. I am the Managing Director, Creative Head of Oshimari Creative Vision, a action learning consultant to Terra Academy for the Arts. I'm a personal brand strategist.
So thank you very much, Mr. Lukman. I remain your humble host, Joanne. I'll see you guys next time on our Creative Entrepreneurship. Bye.